Hello, I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. Wish I had better stories to bring and positive stories to bring, but well, unfortunately, that's not at least my life. So I thought I'd bring another update for the abuse victim shelter here. Last week I was in the hospital, and when I got out of the hospital, I thought I'd stop in and say hi. I didn't feel like sitting in the car and driving back home. Had to get up, move, and stretch, and wasn't able to sit down, so I decided to stop in and say hi. Well, the day I stopped in to say hi at the abused shelter, the woman who is running that office now, the only employee to that office, that was her last day, and she was quitting again. Another person was quitting, and I got a mosquito on my face now. Um, well, that was her last day. She was quitting because she can't just sit and do nothing all day long. She said in 2 years, her name is Sherry. She said in 2 years, they've only had 3 clients. Now, the woman who got fired because my ex-wife threatened lawsuits against the victim's advocate shelter, Diane Pepler Center, my ex-wife threatened lawsuits because, again, I mean, this is also part of why court systems should be doing their job. I mean, when she's got now papers in her hand from a court saying that I'm a bad person when there's not even anything in there that said I did anything illegal or wrong. An attorney pointed that out to me. Going through this stuff, and I've got attorneys now looking into this stuff. So much to say, and I don't even know how much to even talk about in each video. But I'll link a video here that'll explain that story more. The woman who was in that position before that got fired because you're not supposed to help men, and now, my ex has court documents stating that I'm a bad person, even though nobody reads those documents. All there is, yep, finalization says that he's a bad man. Nobody looks at all of the mess that she has made in between that makes no sense, that I've been airing on my channel left and right these past few weeks. Yeah, I'm a bad person because I gave my wife a kiss on the cheek. Oh my God, what a horrible husband. I find stuff for my wife to go and do and try to look out and help her and try to take my kids to do things that no, trick-or-treating's a horrible thing to go take your kids to do. Don't do that. The woman who was in that position at the victim's shelter was there for many, many years. Was known by our whole community. It's the thing about living in small communities, and part of why this hit them so hard, because when you screw things up in a small community like this, word gets around and everybody knows what happened, and people are now scared to step foot in there. So in 2 years, they've only had, what I was told was 3 clients in 2 years. And she can't just sit and do nothing all day long. Now, before, the woman who was in that position before, and before she got fired in our community, felt estranged to the Diane Pepler Center, she had at least that many clients a week. And when people weren't coming in the door, she was helping the patients and the clients that she already had. Like, there's a woman I know as a fact that she had epilepsy and she was an abused victim. She was very young and she had no driver's license. So once a week, the woman who got fired in my case used to go and pick her up once a week, take her grocery shopping, take her to the thrift store, and spend some time with her and get her out of her apartment. I ran into them at the thrift store. They were buying a dining room table outfit, and I went back to her apartment and spent some time with her and helped her bring in and helped her put together the dining room outfit. I'm a horrible monster. So they are really looking at having to close these doors because they're going to lose their funding because they have nothing to show for helping people. And if they can't help people, then they're not going to be able to continue getting federal funding to keep their doors open. And if one of these shelters closes, there's 2 of them now that are in this situation. 2 different counties. Well, again, word spreads even from county to county here. They're not getting anybody in there. They have no work to do. They have nothing to show for their day, their week, their month, their year, or 2 years running now. This is all why our systems, I mean, again, I keep showing more and more of the abuse and the bad that has taken place from all of this. And I feel horrible that it's my case that I know I didn't do it. I proved my innocence, which is why they took my case. Again, more evidence than anybody's ever seen, but in our court systems, they don't care about evidence. Only thing is evident. Talked about it many times. Titles and paychecks. That's what it's all about. So how many people are now stuck, scared, and are hurt and can't go in there because they don't trust it? And then what happens when they do close the doors and it's all gone? I talked about it too. Then are they just going to say, look, we're not showing anything documented happening here. Everything's good because there's nobody coming in claiming abuse anymore, when the real reason is they're too scared to. They don't trust it now. And everybody cared about the person who was in that position for many, 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 many years prior to that. And that woman's life is now destroyed over it too. Destroyed. I mean, devastatingly destroyed. That woman was engaged to get married. She went through such a mental health crisis of her own over getting fired for helping victims that she's no longer engaged in. I don't know, I've heard she's been living on the streets, crashing at different places, and losing her mind. But hey, let's just keep protecting abusive criminals. Who cares about the victims? Who cares about the children? Definitely not our system.